Hi everybody, Tim here with today's episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 7, Episode 22, Bloodlines. So kind of interestingly enough, this episode is a sequel to Season 1's The Battle, which I think I brought that up in that review. I don't know, it's been too long, I don't remember. So in that one, Damon Bach was basically going after Picard because when Picard was captain of the Stargazer, he blew up an unknown alien attacker, which ended up being the Ferengi. And now Damon Bach is trying to get revenge on Picard for killing his son. So in this one, Damon Bach announces to get revenge that he is now going to kill Picard's son. So now it's this race to find this character named Jason Vigo and to see what's going on. So they get to him just in time, and Beverly does a scan that she does, and she's like, yeah, you are Picard's son. And over the course, now for me personally to watch this episode, I was like, we're 7 years in the series. There's no way they're just going to announce that this character has a son now. Now, today, that's possible. I mean, they just come up with random storylines today. But back in like 1993, it's not going to happen. So this episode didn't really hold any mystery to me. I knew by the end of the episode that they would prove that he was not Picard's son. And sure enough, by the end of throughout the episode, you see Jason have like handshakes and seizures. And it turns out that Damon Bach resequenced Jason's DNA. So his mother was right, but then they changed it to make it look like he was Picard's son. Overall, it's okay. It's an interesting episode. There's a fun scene where it turns out like Jason's basically a rogue. Like he has petty theft and all this other stuff, and he likes rock climbing, and Picard kind of rock climbs after him, and he makes the mention that he's by no means an expert, but he is experienced in rock climbing, which was kind of a throwback to me for Kirk. In one of the movies, we see Kirk climbing El Capitan in Yosemite. So I thought that was interesting. Evidently, there's a link between captains and rock climbing. So overall, I thought this episode was okay. It wasn't great, but like I said, for me, it held no mystery. I thought it was more interesting that it was a sequel to Season 1. And again, like today, almost every episode has a previously on, whereas that wasn't really a thing in the 90s. And so for me to just turn this episode on, if I was watching this live, like to turn this episode on in 1993, I would be like, I have no idea who Damon Bach is, because I don't remember 7 years ago. Because I mean, I think there were VHS tapes of episodes, but it was nothing like what we had today. So you just either had to have a great memory or be lucky and saw this episode, because there was no previously on that explained that episode. You just had to go with it. So I think it's really interesting that they do these two sequels 7 years apart. But like I said, overall it's a good episode. It's fun to see characters. It's not the same actor, but it's the same character. But yeah, overall it's okay. So for those who have seen this one, I believe this is probably the last Ferengi episode. What did you guys think about the Ferengi? Just overall, because they were supposed to be the big bad of the series and they became the ongoing joke. Speaking of which, they mentioned the rules of acquisition in this episode, which is a long joke in Deep Space Nine. So it's kind of fun, again, them embracing Deep Space Nine. So what do you guys think of the Ferengi overall, just in general? What do you guys think? Go ahead, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for the YouTube subscriptions. Thank you guys for everything. You guys are all amazing. And I will see you guys next time for Emergence.